If you've been noticing that getting up from a chair takes just a bit more effort than it used to, or that you hesitate for a moment before stepping off a curb, you're not imagining things, and you're certainly not alone. What you might not realize is that these small changes aren't simply inevitable parts of getting older. They're signals your body is sending you, and more importantly, they're signals you can actually do something about. Let me share something with you that might shift how you think about movement and aging altogether. There are communities scattered around the world where people in their 80s and 90s move with a freedom and confidence that would surprise most of us. These aren't elite athletes or people who've spent their lives in gyms. They're ordinary folks who simply kept their bodies moving in specific ways that science is only now beginning to fully understand. What researchers have discovered is that certain simple movements done consistently can dramatically change how our bodies age. We're not talking about strenuous workouts or complicated routines that require special equipment. These are gentle, deliberate movements that respect where your body is right now while coaxing it toward greater strength and stability. The difference between someone who moves confidently at 90 and someone who struggles at 70 often comes down to these fundamental movement patterns. Your body is remarkably adaptable, even now. The connections between your brain and muscles, the flexibility of your joints, the strength in your legs, all of these can improve with the right kind of attention. Think about your ankles for a moment. They probably don't get much thought in your daily life, yet they're absolutely foundational to everything you do while standing or walking. Each ankle contains specialized sensors that constantly communicate with your brain about balance and position. When your ankles become stiff from underuse, these sensors become less responsive. It's like trying to hear someone speaking through a bad phone connection. The information just doesn't flow clearly. This is why a simple practice of moving your ankles through their full range can have such profound effects on stability. Before you even get out of bed in the morning, while you're still lying down, you can begin waking up these connections. Lift one foot slightly and rotate it slowly in circles, really feeling each part of the movement. Make the circles as large as feels comfortable, going one direction and then the other. After the circles, flex your foot by pointing your toes away from you, holding briefly, then pulling them back toward your shin. This takes just a few minutes, but what it does is remarkable. You're increasing blood flow to tissues that have been still all night. You're reminding those balance sensors to start paying attention. You're lubricating the joint itself, making it more responsive. People who do this consistently often notice within weeks that their walking feels more secure. That hesitation before stepping begins to fade. The wobbliness that might have crept in starts to diminish. Now let's move up to your shoulders and upper back. If you spend any time sitting, whether it's reading, watching television, or working at a table, your shoulders have probably drifted forward over the years. This forward posture isn't just about appearance. When your shoulders round forward, your chest muscles tighten up, while the muscles between your shoulder blades become weak and overstretched. This imbalance creates tension in your neck and upper back, and it actually restricts how fully you can breathe. Your rib cage can't expand properly when everything is compressed forward. There's a wonderfully simple movement that addresses all of this at once. Sitting comfortably with your feet flat on the floor, you simply draw your shoulder blades together, as if you were trying to hold something small between them. You're not forcing anything or yanking your shoulders back harshly. It's a gentle, controlled squeeze that you hold for several seconds while breathing normally. When you release and repeat this movement multiple times, you're retraining muscles that may have forgotten their job. You're creating space in your chest for fuller breaths. You're relieving pressure on your neck. Many people find that tension headaches they'd been attributing to other causes actually ease up when they do this movement regularly. The increased oxygen from better breathing can even help with mental clarity and energy levels throughout the day. Your spine itself deserves some special attention too. Between each of the bones in your spine sits a cushioning disc that acts like a shock absorber. These discs need movement to stay healthy. They're filled with a gel-like substance that needs to be kept hydrated, and movement is what maintains that hydration.
When your spine stays locked in the same positions day after day, these discs can gradually dry out and compress. This is part of why people often lose height as they age, but it doesn't have to be this way. There's a movement pattern that gently mobilizes each segment of your spine individually.
Sitting toward the front edge of a chair so your back is free, you create a wave-like motion that travels from your tailbone up through your neck. You start by tilting your pelvis to round your lower back slightly, then reverse it to create a gentle arch. This wave continues upward through your middle back and finally your neck. The movement should feel smooth and continuous, like a gentle ocean wave rolling through your body. What this does is mobilize each individual joint in your spine, something our modern sedentary lifestyle rarely requires. You're keeping those discs healthy, you're maintaining flexibility, you're preventing the stiffness that can make simple movements like reaching or turning feel difficult or painful. When you add coordinated breathing, inhaling as the wave moves up and exhaling as it rolls back down, you enhance the effect even more. This breathing pattern creates pressure changes inside your torso that actually support and protect your spine during the movement. Moving down to your hips, these large ball and socket joints are designed for circular motion, yet how often do you actually move them in circles? We walk forward, we sit, we stand, but circular movement is rare in daily life. This lack of varied movement causes the hip joint to stiffen and the surrounding muscles to develop imbalances. Standing with your feet comfortably apart and your knees soft rather than locked, you can place your hands on your hips and create large circular motions as if you were moving a hula hoop in slow motion. You shift your weight to one side, rotate forward, transfer across to the other side, and come around the back to complete the circle. The movement should be as large as you can make it while maintaining your balance. What happens during this simple circling is quite remarkable. You're moving the hip joint through its full range, keeping the joint capsule mobile. You're strengthening the smaller stabilizing muscles that are crucial for balance but often get neglected. You're also improving something called proprioception, which is your body's internal sense of where it is in space. This awareness is what allows you to walk on uneven ground or catch yourself when you stumble. As this sense becomes sharper through regular practice, your confidence in movement naturally increases. You begin to trust your body again in situations where you might previously have felt uncertain. Now, here's something that might sound challenging at first, but stay with me because this is perhaps the most powerful movement of all. The ability to get down to the floor and back up again is one of the strongest predictors researchers have found for longevity and quality of life. This makes perfect sense when you think about it. This movement requires strength in your legs, flexibility in your ankles and knees, balance throughout the transition, and coordination to put it all together. It's a full-body integration that maintains the functional capacity for independent living. The movement involves transitioning from standing down to a kneeling position and back up again. You start by stepping one foot back, then lowering that knee to the ground in a controlled way, bringing the other knee down and settling back onto your heels. To come back up, you bring one foot forward into a lunge position and push through that leg to stand. This can absolutely be modified to match where you are right now. You can keep one hand on a sturdy chair or counter for support. You can place a cushion under your knees for comfort. You might start by only going part way down at first. The key is consistent practice, not perfect execution. Even modified versions provide substantial benefits because you're maintaining and building the strength, flexibility, and coordination that this movement requires. Over time, as these qualities improve, the movement becomes easier. You might find you need less support, or you can go deeper. People who practice this regularly often discover they feel more confident in all their movements. Those fears about falling or not being able to get up if you did fall begin to diminish because you've proven to yourself that your body is capable. When you put these movements together into a short morning routine, something remarkable happens. Each movement prepares your body for the next one. The ankle mobilization wakes up your balance system. The shoulder work improves your breathing and posture. The
The spinal waves mobilize your back. The hip circles strengthen your lower body and enhance coordination. The floor transitions integrate everything into functional, real-world capability. The entire sequence takes less than 20 minutes, yet the effects last throughout your day and accumulate over weeks and months into significant improvements in how you feel and function. This isn't about turning back the clock or denying that you're aging. It's about aging with strength, capability, and confidence. Your body wants to move well. It's designed to move well, but it needs consistent input, regular reminders of what's possible. These movements provide exactly that. They're gentle enough to start right where you are, yet powerful enough to create meaningful change. Many people begin noticing differences within just a few weeks. Perhaps stairs feel a bit easier, or you realize you're not holding on to things as much when you walk. Or maybe you just feel more stable and secure in your movements. These aren't dramatic overnight transformations, but rather the kind of steady, sustainable improvements that compound over time into significantly better quality of life. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity and accessibility. You don't need to join anything or buy anything special. You don't need to be in good shape to start. You just need a few minutes each morning and a willingness to move your body mindfully through these patterns. Tomorrow morning, you could begin with just one or two of these movements, perhaps the ankle circles before you get out of bed and the shoulder squeezes while you're having your morning coffee. As these become familiar and comfortable, you add another movement, then another, building gradually toward the complete routine. Within a month, you could have established a practice that serves your body in profound ways, supporting your independence and vitality for years to come. This is about reclaiming confidence in your body's abilities and maintaining the freedom to live life on your terms, whatever that looks like for you.